I congratulate you all on the 267th birth anniversary of our master, Dr. Christian Frederick Samuel Hahnemann, and on World Homeopathy Day. I wish to share my views about the present status of homeopathy. As we all know that we have a huge fan following in terms of our patients, but on the other hand, we don't get the desired recognition from the practitioners of modern medicine and from the scientific community. They consider that homeopathy is a placebo therapy or a psychotherapy. In the recent event of this COVID-19 pandemic, homeopathy had a great opportunity to show itself, but we failed very badly. So I would like to share my reasons that, number one, that we made two hasty decisions. Like, we projected arsenic as a preventive for COVID without even having taken a single case. We have not treated even a single case of COVID and came out with a preventive. Later, we said that arsenic is an immunobooster. This was also wrongly projected according to me. If we see, we should have projected that homeopathy is a immunobooster medicine. When we prescribe the medicines on the symptom complex of the patient, it helps to treat the patient by creating an artificial disease, and on the other hand, for the layman, we can say it increases the patient's immune response to treat his disease. So instead of promoting arsenic as an immunobooster, we should have projected that homeopathy, all the medicines, when indicated, are the immunoboosters. When I was in Calcutta, I had an opportunity to discuss about the preventive medicines with Dr. J.N. Kanjilal sir. He said that in homeopathy, there are only two preventives. One is genus epidemicus, and the second one is the constitutional remedy. So the genus epidemicus has to be selected after treating 8 to 10 patients of that particular epidemic. And only then, if any medicine which becomes effective in curing those 7-8 patients, then only we can consider that as a genus epidemicus. It is not that on the computer basis, taking down all the symptoms and then coming out with arsenic as a preventive. For that matter, we can have preventive for any disease from common cold to cancer. But that's not the case. If we want that homeopathy should be projected as a scientific medicine, then we have to also act in a scientific manner. We should not make hasty decisions. That is a big blunder we did during the COVID time. Now, secondly, in homeopathy, we do not stand on the same platform. Every doctor has its own opinion that he can cure cancer, he can cure fibroid, he can cure diabetes. For that matter, we need to have a consensus among ourselves that we should know what are our limitations. And unless and until we know our limitations, we can't project the same thing in the scientific community. Now, our government is very keen in the process of integration. That when I was the student, I also wanted that we should have some integrated knowledge about the other system of medicine. but that is very, very sensitive issue. We have to take up very, very carefully. If we introduce the medicines from the other systems, after some time, the homeopathy will get extinguished, like it has happened in the Western countries. In India, we have a huge fan following only because it is cost effective, and it is effective at the same time. It is easy to administer. But from the scientific point of view, we have to make lots of effort to prove that homeopathy is scientific. It is not that in modern medicine they have answer to everything. When we were taught embryology at the National Institute of Homeopathy by the renowned anatomist Dr. Samar Mitra, when he was teaching embryology, I asked him one question: "Sir, from the zygote to the full fetus, it takes about 280 days, but what is the mechanism which is controlling this? Either it is a neural or a humoral, hormonal, or some biochemical?" He said, "We can know only that on day 1 it is zygote, and on day 6 it is morula, on day 12 like this. So we don't know what is the mechanism." He said, "GOK, God only knows." So similarly, if we can't prove that our medicines have some material existence, that is not the only way. That we have to prove it on the patients. If we can show them the results, then they can be convinced. So for that matter, we have to do evidence-based research where we have to show them that these are the things we can do with the help of homeopathy. And I have been treating in my clinic patients from common cold to cancer. And whatever we are able to do is, like, we know that the first line of defense is our own defense mechanism. Our body fights whatever disease comes in it. And then homeopathy supports that defense mechanism to cure the disease. To cure the disease as far as it is possible. It is not that we will be able to cure all patients of cancer. We will be able to manage patients of cancer, and their quality of life will be much, much better. I have treated my mother of breast cancer, and when I was discussing this case with my cousin, who is a cancer surgeon, he told that in chemotherapy also, if some pharmaceutical company says that our medicine is effective for 18 months, if the patient is already has metastasis, and some other company claims that our medicines can prolong the life to 21 months, it's a matter of just 3 months. But the cost of those medicines goes from 3 to 4 folds. Like, if the initial medicine costs about 50,000 per month, the medicine which can prolong the death to 21 months will cost around 2 lakhs. And we Indians do consider that if the medicine is costly or if the medicine is imported, it is more effective. So if we consider their pharmaceutical condition, we can definitely provide a better solution if homeopathy is incorporated in disease conditions where their cost is too high in the modern medicine, or in condition where homeopathy has a better hold, like I would say in cases of autoimmune disorders, in patients with allergic disorders, in patients with respiratory diseases, in patients with viruses. So we have a better answer than the modern medicine, but we need to prove it. It is not that we will be able to cure everybody with just homeopathic medicine. We may need some support from the other system. Like in COVID case patients also, I have seen the only two medicines in the modern medicine which acted and saved patient was the steroids and the anticoagulants. These were just two medicines which were shown to be effective during COVID in the modern medicine. Rest of the medicine, whatever they have brought out, were just gone down the drain. So it is not that they have answer to everything. So our research department has to work and try to find out what are the weak points of the modern medicine and do research on those particular projects and the cases where their cost is too high. So if we add homeopathy to that, we can reduce the cost of treatment where our government will get benefited. At present, the present government is very pro for the Ayush system of medicines, but it is our duty to make a good use of that and take the advantage of the situation. But we should not act like what we did during the COVID time. We have to sit down, think about it, and do that to prove that homeopathy definitely acts. So evidence-based cases has to be produced so that the scientific community, the practitioners of the modern medicine can say, yes, definitely homeopathic medicine act. Because so far they consider homeopathy as a placebo. Now, if we are given a chance with the integrated approach, I can definitely say that the amount of medication done in the modern medicine can be reduced to 1/3 if homeopathy is given along with their system where the patients are incurable or patients with cancer or autoimmune disorder like a patient with interstitial lung disease. I won't say that only with homeopathy we can treat the patient 100%. He may need little bit of inhalers or nebulization or a low dose of steroids to have a better quality of life. So integration is required, but it is a very, very sensitive and very delicate issue. Should be taken with lots of care so that both the system should have an independent existence. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you.